We learn more in the story of the father effect.
We're looking at cloudy skies on this Wednesday morning. Topping today's headlines, more than 100 people have been found dead after yesterday's tornado in Wichita Falls. The damages are likely...
April 10th, 1979, my dad took his own life. And I had no idea the power of that act and how much that would impact me for the rest of my life. My dad, I didn't know until many, many years later, had grown up with a really, really rough life. Had 5 or 6 different dads, not really ever a steady role model. And so the more I learned of his history and his background, the more I was able to have compassion for him and ultimately find forgiveness, which is what ideally and really radically changed my life as a man, husband, and father.
That traumatic experience haunted John throughout his childhood and much of his adult life. Though he was raised by a wonderful single mother, the absence of his father had a devastating effect. It was a chance encounter on a golf course that became a defining moment in his life's journey.
And we had these great conversations that most men do just about the struggles that we all have. And I was telling him some of the things that I was struggling with. And at one point he turned to me and he said, "You grew up without a father, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And I went on to give him this great 10-minute explanation about how amazing my mom is. And she was an amazing lady. And as soon as I finished, he turned and said, "But was she a dad?" And that was the first time I had ever thought about that impact of not having a father for the majority of my life.
This revelation in John's life prompted him to found The Father Effect, a nonprofit organization that helps others who have suffered traumatic experiences to find healing for themselves and forgiveness for those who have inflicted those father wounds.
There's this generational curse that if we don't step up and take a stand and break that cycle, it will continue. And so for me, it was very important for me as a father of 3 daughters to understand that and find healing for it so that then I could be the father I was created to be.
Over the last decade, John has impacted the lives of countless people through the writing of his book to the making of his movie, and he never turns down a chance to talk about what has become his most important mission.
You know, anger is one of those things. It's amazing the number of
His influence has helped change the trajectory of those who are looking for help.
To say, "Hey, man."
Our mission is to help other men understand they're not alone. Doesn't matter what their story is, doesn't matter what the struggle is, whether it be addiction, incarceration, many of the different ways that sometimes this father wound plays out. Doesn't matter. It's to help men understand they're not alone. And even though my life started at 11 years old pretty tragically with my father, what's turned into my mission and the blessing of that and the conversations I get to have with people is ultimately what it's all about. And it has truly been the biggest blessing in my life, knowing that that's why I'm here and that's what I'm meant to do, is sharing these stories and talking to others to help them see and know even what a father wound is, and then ultimately find healing and the life-changing power of that healing.